Hi everyone, this is Cliff Keller, writing on a hilltop in Jerusalem. Welcome to Inside Stories. Hi, in this episode I'll interview Luke Johnston, budding young author, eager college scholar, my grandson, and an all-around good guy. So, let's get started. I'm looking forward to doing this. So my first question that I sent you is, tell us a little bit about yourself. Who's Luke Johnston? What are you up to? Who are you?
I'm a sophomore at BYU. I'm in free communications. I want to become a fiction writer. My favorite author is Brandon Sanderson, and I'm really excited because next semester I'm going to take his class. And I really like video games, books, and chess and stuff. So that's fun.
What's your feeling so far about the BYU experience?
It's awesome. All I really knew about BYU is that it was a good school, but it's also a really fun school. There's people like to do stuff. I actually kind of live in like the party dorm, which is kind of funny. I'm not really a partier, but it's really fun because there's always something to do. I'm in an improv group. That's fun. So yeah.
You said you want to be a fiction writer. So would you tell us why you write? Why do you write? What is it that's so appealing to you about writing fiction?
Well, I really like writing because number one, because my dad was an author, and
Still is, right?
yeah, he is an author. He just doesn't do it a lot anymore. So I don't really think of him that anymore. But when I was like a kid, that was like all he did. Like I remember when my dad went to work, he would just go up to her like upstairs, and he would just write all day. And so it always to me was like a real job and not something that was like a dream. Because like if my dad could do it, then why couldn't I? And I really liked reading and fiction. So I really wanted to like make my own stuff. And that was cool.
And you have written some stuff, correct?
Yes. Not a lot published. I've written like a novel, a novella, and then like one published short story.
And how was
I'm
it
writing a
published?
novel.
How was it published?
It was a young authors short story competition. And it was like it was like the FinCon Young Authors competition, like in 2016, I think.
Wow.
And it was great. I got $50 because I was
Oh,
first
wow.
place. I know, I'm making big bucks.
Now you said you're writing a novel now.
Yeah. So I've been trying to write, like my dream for like the longest time has been to like publish a novel through like the official means. So I've been working on that for like the past 4 or 5 years because I started with the first book. When was that? I think I was 14 when I started writing the book, and it was the first time I really tried to write a full book, but it only turned out to be a novella because I wasn't really used to writing anything like long form. And then it took me another try to write something that was actually a novel length. But then it was really bad. So this time I'm trying to write a long book that was also good. I'm not doing so hot right now. It's still bad, but I'm getting there.
I would say you're doing pretty well. When you say you want to publish, are you thinking about getting a big publishing house to publish it, or have you considered self-publishing?
Yeah, I like self-publishing. I'm still not confident in my own work to feel like I can self-publish because self-publishing, like there's a whole lot more effort and process that goes into it, and also you don't get the experienced eye on your work unless you're willing to go through like hiring people to help with that. And I'm a broke college kid, so right now I'm doing the traditional route if I can.
About this course that's coming up and about your favorite author.
Yeah, so Brandon Sanderson, he's an American fiction writer who's really big like locally because he lives here and he teaches class here at BYU. And he is like he's one of my favorite authors of all time. He's won a ton of awards. He's he's written like something like 20 20 something more books. He is very prolific, and he was one of the reasons I also like got into like reading like a lot, because there was a while when I was like reading a lot of middle grade and I just wasn't really feeling it. And then I started reading Brandon Sanderson and kind of jumping over YA to his like adult fantasy, and he's amazing. And so I'm really hyped to take his class.
That's good. Is it going to be a big class or a limited attendance?
Yeah, it's a very popular class. So it's like he has technically two classes. He's got like the 200 people lecture, which usually fills up within like a couple days. And then he's got his like select 15 group where special attention. I applied for that because I'm technically, this is my first year at BYU, even though I'm a sophomore. I did not get in. So I'm doing his lecture, which I'm really hyped about because I can try to take his special class next year.
One of the questions I wanted to ask you, you're a young man at BYU and just getting started out. Who are your heroes?
I think my parents are my heroes. They're like super great. Like my dad was like a huge example, not just like for a writer, but also just for a person. He has like a crazy work ethic, which I really appreciate, and I don't think I could even begin to mimic, because he relaxes by working, which is kind of funny. And then my mom has always been like someone who's like incredibly patient, to the point where I'm less patient with her patience, which is amazing. And then like just from a writing standpoint, Brandon Sanderson is definitely someone I look up to. He wrote like 10 novels before he got published. It was crazy. He worked the night shift, and a lot of publishers told him that they couldn't sell his books just because he writes really long books, and it wasn't really economically feasible for them to publish these massive things. But then he sold one, and then it was really popular. So he's always just been a success story for me.
Okay, so you're in college. You've got lots of responsibilities. You're excited about what you're doing. What are the distractions in your life now? Do you have any? Are there any challenges and things you feel like you need to overcome, either whether they come from you personally, the motivation, etc., or just others or external influences?
Just like it takes there's a lot of different things happening at BYU, which is really fun, but it also means my time is like valuable, and I'm going to be pulled in a lot of different directions at once. So it's been kind of weird working with my book, because it's always kind of a sacrifice, because I'm not doing something else at BYU, or like I'm missing a volleyball game or an improv show or going to a dance or whatever. And none of those things are bad. They're just like different directions to go. So I guess it's just figuring out my own priorities and what I want to do with my life.
I know you're very busy, so I'll ask you one last question before we part. What's in your future? Where is Luke Johnston going to be long term, saying 5, 10 years, 15 years? What do you see as kind of the ideal outcome as you mature and go through school?
I've started working at my student newspaper. It's called the Daily Universe, and I'm going to be volunteering there until I can get into the communications department and or get a job there. and I'm hoping that will give me a lot of experience, like in the journalism field. I really like that field, and I'm hoping I want to finish my novel by the end of the year. Whether that's a rough draft or the final draft, I'm not sure. There's still a little bit left. But then this next semester is going to be my writing semester because it has my class, and I'm taking another writing class as well because I'm getting a creative writing minor. So hopefully I'm going to really work on my writing. Maybe if this is like crazy dreams, like get something published by like the end of next year. That would be awesome. And then I don't know. We'll see where the road takes me.
I have one more short question, and actually two more short questions. Have you thought about getting an agent?
I would probably get an agent once I'm done with my book. And once I've submitted to like some smaller publishing houses that don't require agents, just to see if I get any like feedback on stuff. But I would probably get an agent because that's just the way it goes.
Last question. What does Luke Johnston do for fun?
I really like reading and video games. I really like video games.
Yeah. I really want to thank you for taking the time because I know you're busy, and God bless you and take care.
Thank you. Love you.
Take care, buddy. Bye-bye.
Bye.